what kind of evidence would convince a flat earther? They keep asking for it, but deny it every time if it proves them wrong.
Okie dokie, today's video is a special one. We've got a collection of flat earthers who, in their quest to debunk the globe and science in general, end up proving that the earth is, you've guessed it, have you? A globe. It's like watching a cat chase its tail and finally catching it. It's pure, unintended comedy gold. So buckle up and let's enjoy the cosmic irony together. Please subscribe.
We have a backup experiment. If you're seeing through this hole, through the next hole, and seeing the light at the backboard, or at 17 feet off the water, the Earth is flat. If he's holding it up at 23 feet high and we're seeing the light, well, that's because the Earth's curved. So I should only be able to see it when it's at 17 feet. Okay, go ahead and drive down there, Enrique. You're gonna hold the light there. Enrique, how high is your light?
17 feet.
I mean, it's as, we don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting.
It is interesting, Jaron. And you know what I find most interesting about it? The fact that after you did this experiment, which was a perfectly good way of proving the shape of the Earth, you still claim to be a flat earther. And I really don't think you are at this stage. I think that you've done enough of your own research, which is something that most flat earthers bang on about, but very few actually go out and do. But you did it, and you proved to yourself that the Earth can't possibly be flat. So I'm not really sure whether it's money that's keeping you saying the Earth is flat, or whether you're just a little bit apprehensive, and with good reason, to leave the flat earth, because we've all seen how ex-flat earthers get treated. And that got me to thinking, I wondered if anybody's ever challenged Jaron on the results of his experiment. So I did a quick search on YouTube and I found a video from Simon Dan. Well, technically it was from MC Toon on Simon Dan's channel. And somebody called Brenda Debates did challenge Jaronism on his live call-in show, and this is what he said.
If it's 17 feet would have been flat Earth evidence, 23 feet was curved Earth evidence, and we got 19 and a half right in the middle.
No, 23 feet was never, that was your prediction. That was you misunderstanding.
What do you mean my misunderstanding? That's the math. It's in the fucking movie, dumb.
No, that's your prediction. At 17 feet, if the Earth is flat, you should be able to see the light.
Correct.
And you didn't see the light.
Correct.
See the light. I see what you did there, Brenda. That was very funny. Anyway, I know, and everybody watching this now knows, and probably you know, Jaronism proves that the Earth isn't flat. It was your experiment, nobody else's. You made all the predictions.
Right, you saw the light when you raised it above 17 feet to 19 feet, which is reasonable for an adult to do.
Okay.
Thus confirming the curvature of the Earth. Thank you.
You're
Jaron,
so dumb. You're so dumb.
Information.
Dumb. We were using a tangent line looking through fucking holes, you dumb bitch. It's math that you can do in your fucking head. Cardboard cutout at 17 feet for 3 miles.
And that, boys and girls, is why any experiment a flat earther ever does is completely pointless. Because even when their own experiment, which they devised themselves, proves something that they wish it hadn't, they throw a temper tantrum and start insulting people. But anyway, what have we got next?
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15-degree-per-hour drift. Now, obviously we were taken aback by that. Wow, that's kind of a problem, right? We obviously willing to accept that, and so we started looking for ways to disprove that it was actually registering the motion of the Earth and that it in fact was registering the motion of the sky. So the next thing that we set out to do was to encase the fiber optic gyro in what's called a zero Gauss chamber to see if we could actually shield the energies being generated by the heaven. And we were unsuccessful with that, unfortunately.
Okay, so I'm not going to focus on this one too much because, as we all know, Bob Nodell sadly passed away last year, and I may be a dick, but I'm not that much of a dick. But this was worth including because it became a meme. We've all used it. 15 degrees per hour drift, thanks Bob. You've seen me do it, you've seen Simon Dan do it. But all Bob's experiment did, or the community, the Globebusters community did, was prove again that the Earth was a globe, and then went into panic mode and tried to fudge the results so that it would be more favourable towards flat Earth, which it is never gonna be because the Earth isn't flat.
The flat earthers already disproved themselves with the laser tests in that documentary like a year ago, so why is anyone still debating this?
Now, I think he's talking about the Netflix documentary from a couple of years ago, Beyond the Curve, or whatever the hell it was called. I could check, but flat earthers just aren't that important to me. But they did a laser test, which I will show you in just a second, over water, and they proved once again that the Earth does indeed curve. Strange that, isn't it? Science predicts that it curves, and then when flat earthers check for themselves, it curves. It's like a magician revealing the secret to a card trick and then still insisting that it's real magic.
Okay, I'm assuming you mean Behind the Curve, the Netflix documentary. The whole thing was a hit piece in order to make flat Earth look ridiculous.
Oh, poor baby. Were the people over at Netflix mean to the flat earthers? And let's be realistic here, but you do not need Netflix to prove that flat earthers are ridiculous. They do a perfectly good job of that themselves. Now, another thing that's worth bearing in mind at this point is that every experiment in this video was the idea of a flat earther. They wanted to measure the rotation of the Earth. They wanted to measure the curvature of the Earth, and they failed miserably every single time.
I know that there was a laser test that was inconclusive. Just because something is inconclusive, a test is inconclusive, it's not proof either way, it's inconclusive, so...
And what he means by that is the results of the experiment didn't support a flat Earth, so they must be inconclusive.
What about flat Mars? Are all planets flat stars, or is only the Earth flat? The misconception here is that we still exist in this solar system with all these other spheres. You can't go to land on Mars, you can't land on the moon. These are not spherical rocks just sitting in a vacuum. They are the lights in the sky as stars are. So is Mars flat? Well, it's not a physical object as far as we can determine.
But we've landed on Mars. And the moon.
What kind of evidence would convince a flat earther? They keep asking for it, but deny it every time if it proves them wrong.
Yeah, and that's a perfectly valid question. What about this? If I can figure out how to throw a frisbee around the planet and it comes back with a postcard from Australia, would that do it? But until I figure out how I'm gonna do that, we'll just have to settle for centuries of scientific consensus, satellite imagery, and the fact that nobody's found the edge yet.
I don't think that's true. I've seen no evidence to say, okay, yeah, the curvature exists. I would love to be shut up.
Yeah, and we'd love flat earthers to shut up.
I would love for, any agency to allow an independent investigation of those lands and then say the whole thing, it turned out, it was complete a lie. Flat Earth is a lie. They're all just crazy people. I'd love to see that proof.
And you can in multiple different ways, but you, like every other flat earther, will just deny any piece of evidence that's presented to you. So what would be the point?
Okay, this is the boat-based target. It's horizontal stripes. We're going to launch a small boat out into the water here with a striped target. And as it gets farther and farther out, you'll start to lose the stripes.
And what's really interesting is that some of the flat earthers, including Mark Sargent, are actually going to be here for this test. The test is starting right now.
At first, all the stripes are clearly visible. But sure enough, as the boat reaches the horizon, the stripes begin to disappear, one by one.
And let me guess, they disappear from the bottom up?
Bottom.
As we would expect on a globe-shaped Earth?
Lost about 1.5 stripes.
Right. So this can only happen why?
Because of the curvature of the Earth.
Bingo!
But Mark Sargent and the other flat earthers have a very different interpretation of the results.
Well, that's not exactly groundbreaking because flat earthers have a very different interpretation of reality.
So you don't think that what we're seeing is actually real? You think it's because of heat?
Absolutely heat.
Mark looks away and up, shaking his head no, incongruent with his words. This indicates that he likely doesn't truly believe what he just said.
Awesome, I did not know that Derek Van Schaik was in this video. He's a body language expert and he's made a couple of videos analysing the things flat earthers said. And you'll never guess what? Every single time he looks at a flat earther, he's able to tell from their body language and micro gestures they make with their faces that they're liars, bums on fire.
It doesn't change anything for you.
Lord, no.
Oh, good Lord, no, it doesn't change anything for me. I've always known that the Earth is a globe, but I make so much money by saying that it's flat, I'm never gonna stop. Is that about the size of it, Mr. Sergeant?
Mark, do you really believe this stuff? Tell me the truth. I'm serious.
When she asks Mark that, he bursts out in a duping smile and submissively looks down bashfully for feeling like she just caught him, while he's also using that looking down to conceal his smile.
Well, it didn't work. Anyway, who's next?
NASA were developed for the sole purpose of lying to us.
Ew, Nathan Oakley.
Their only purpose is to perpetuate the globe lie.
Oh yeah, NASA spending billions on space exploration and cutting-edge technology just to keep up an elaborate lie about the shape of the Earth. Makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, Flat Earth Society runs on Facebook memes and zero budget, so clearly they're the real masterminds here.
Every single story that is told by NASA has the subcontext that we live on a globe. The way they're faking things is with top-of-the-line, absolutely cutting-edge studio techniques like were used in the film Gravity. So they're using trapeze, they're on high wires, in order to fake us for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah, of course they are, Slappy. You never even listen to anything you say in a video. You are without a doubt the most ridiculous grifter in the entire Flat Earth movement. And that's no mean feat considering the competition you've got. Oh, you're still here then. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something new. If you did, then you'll probably enjoy this video as well. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you all again very soon or in a few minutes if you do decide to watch this recommended video. Love you, bye.